Will I be the asshole if I charge my aunt the price of her own groceries? About 2 months ago, I 21F asked my aunt 42F if I could stay at her house for the night because my mother was being insane. When I woke up, I immediately washed her mountains. When I say mountains, I mean mountains of dishes, organized her kitchen and helped her out with my niece 1F. The day turned into a week, and my issues with my mom became worse and worse. I tried to justify my existence by helping out the most I could around the house. The house was a mess, and she really needed it. When the week ended, we sat down and had a conversation about what my plans were. I said, until I got a job, would it be possible for me to stay in her sofa? I promised to help out with my niece and help her clean her house. She said she would pay me in exchange of my help because my help was greatly appreciated. I told her payment wasn't really necessary. I was willing to help out in exchange for meals and a roof over my head. This was our deal, or so I thought. By the end, my aunt would get increasingly impatient and more demanding. I was her in-charge assistant from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. with very little time to myself. Any moment she could pawn off the baby to me, she could. And if she didn't, I'd be washing dishes, mopping the floor, cleaning the kitchen, helping her cook, or appending her entire closet. She very much had a hoarding problem, and her closet was from floor to roof full of stuff. She wanted it cleaned, and I was the one to help her do all of that. On the day the Met Gala happened, I was very much of a fan of the Met Gala, and I wanted to check in every half an hour to see the new outfits for just a minute. She found this incredibly frustrating. She told that the moment I finished a task, I had to immediately ask for another, and she found it annoying I would check my phone. Considering I was doing this in exchange for a sofa to sleep on and meals, I was okay with this. Then I got a job. I moved to my grandparents' house for the job and ended living there. On weekdays, I get on the bus at 6:30 a.m. and get off the bus at 7:20 p.m. My weekdays are full. My weekends, I need that rest. On my first weekend after the job, my aunt picked me up to help her out with my niece. And when I was a little bit tired, she complained to me that my vibe was off and I was not enthusiastic helping like usual. I found it funny how not only was she milking me for help for free considering she was no longer providing me food or a roof. I didn't owe her anymore. I was just helping her on my weekend because of kindness, but complaining my help was subpar. I found it so funny I mentioned it to my father offhandedly.